Did Microsoft lie to us about Black Myth Wukong? Black Myth Wukong was by far one of the most popular games released last year, shifting well over 10 million units within its first 3 days alone. This fan favourite is easily the most appreciated Chinese-produced AAA video game of all time. People love this game, and everyone has been playing it. Well, everyone unless you happen to be an Xbox owner, as this insanely beloved title is conspicuously missing from the Xbox library. With this game being such a huge hit, Xbox has previously provided reasons as to why it cannot be found within its ecosystem, but recent information has surfaced from the game's developers themselves that contradicts everything the suits at Xbox have been telling us, which begs the question: have Xbox been lying to us? Let's find out. I am Lady Decade, and this is Xbox's Lies Exposed. This is the latest Black Myth Wukong gaming controversy. Last year was full of ridiculous gaming controversies, wasn't it? From the moronic Dragon Age The Veilguard to Star Wars Outlaws, Dustborn and Concord. We had plenty of disasters to laugh at and make fun of. But still, the period was still full of great games. Metaphor ReFantazio, Space Marines 2, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth were all fantastic efforts. Take advantage of my amazing affiliate deals on these and thousands of other titles, including Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, via the links below. I hope that you have an amazing new year and enjoy some top-notch savings. To fully understand the origins of this latest drama, we need to step back to its Black Myth Wukong pre-release back in June of 2024 to be precise. Game Science announced that the Xbox version of the game would not come out alongside the PC and PS5 iterations due to apparent optimization challenges with the Xbox line of hardware, but the developer of the title reassured fans of their commitment to delivering a high-quality experience, stating, "We are currently optimizing the Xbox version to meet our quality standards. We apologize for the delay and aim to minimize the wait for Xbox users." So, even if Xbox owners weren't getting Black Myth Wukong at the same time as everyone else, it seemed that they would indeed be getting the game in the not-too-distant future. Fast forward a couple of months to Black Myth Wukong's release. That August, the game would indeed be released on both PS5 and PC, seeing overwhelming critical and commercial success. The incredible reception was a testament to the game's stunning visuals and captivating gameplay, which captured the attention of players worldwide, particularly in China, a market frequently overlooked by the Western gaming scene and, in some circumstances, written off and disregarded completely. Due to this massive success, the absence of the Xbox version would, of course, become increasingly more glaring. After all, this wasn't just the hottest game of the summer, but arguably the year. So there were Xbox owners who were becoming increasingly desperate to experience this game. With an Xbox version of the title yet to exist, Game Science would continue to maintain the delay was due to optimization efforts, reassuring players that they were working to meet their high-quality standards before launching on the American platform. However, much to Xbox's chagrin, the situation ended up reigniting unwanted debates about Microsoft's parity requirements for the Xbox Series X and Series S. The rule that all releases must run on both pieces of hardware, despite the Series X being drastically more powerful than the intentionally underpowered and more budget-friendly S model. The Series X is the brand's high-end model, offering 12 teraflops of GPU power for native 4K gaming and a 1TB SSD, along with a built-in disk drive for physical media. In contrast, the Series S is a more affordable digital-only console with 4 teraflops of GPU power, targeting 1440p resolution and a smaller 512GB SSD. While both consoles share the same game library, the Series S often runs games at lower resolutions or settings to meet its technical limitations, a caveat developers haven't needed to tackle when optimizing games to run on the Sony PlayStation 5. While Xbox's requirements promote inclusivity and affordability, which protect the Series S, catering to those who can't necessarily spend more on getting either a Series X or a PlayStation 5, the longer this piece of hardware has existed, the more Xbox has come under scrutiny for how its dual platforms impact releases, especially when it comes to more ambitious games like Black Myth Wukong. So, considering these thoughts, it's easy to see why it's tougher to make an Xbox game than a PS5 game. This isn't the reason Xbox would run with regarding why the game was nowhere to be seen, leading to this tale becoming even juicier. Adding fuel to this growing fire, in late August, rumours began to emerge refuting the concerns over the Series S's hardware's apparent incapabilities. For example, Paul Tassi, writing for Forbes, would write a series of articles about this ongoing situation. In an article published on the 20th of August titled, "When's Xbox's Black Myth Wukong release date?" Tassi would start by reporting on the narrative we have just covered, explaining, "You may be wondering why Black Myth Wukong is not out on Xbox Series X or S, and what its release date might be. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is that no, this is not Sony buying a year of exclusivity or something from Game Science in order to keep it off Xbox for a long while. The bad news is that once again Xbox seemed to have blundered into a Baldur's Gate 3 situation where, due to problems with Xbox Series X not being able to run split-screen co-op, Xbox had to wait until December to get its version rather than August like PC and PlayStation. However, on the 29th of August, he posted an update that refuted the previous info Forbes had published. This time the article would state, "A source with knowledge of the situation has told me that, contrary to previous reporting, and even departing from Game Science's own statement, that the reason Black Myth Wukong is not currently on Xbox is due to an exclusivity deal, not because of some sort of technical issue causing a delay in the release of the game." Essentially insinuating that a behind-the-scenes backroom deal has been brokered with PlayStation to ensure that the game would not arrive on Xbox. While timed exclusives are nothing new, no evidence would be brought forward to support this. Then again, who needs accuracy in a statement when, if it all goes wrong, you can just blame your so-called anonymous source? After all, it's a convenient loophole that allows you to say things without being held accountable for ridiculous statements. So I understand why a journalist would lean into these, whether they are verifiable or not. It's easy content and easy clicks. But fortunately, on the 3rd of September 2024, he would return with something a little bit more concrete, claiming that Microsoft had given him confirmation that Black Myth Wukong's delay was not due to the Series S. In this article titled "Microsoft Confirms Black Myth Wukong Delay Not Due to Platform Limitations, Comments on Exclusivity," it states, "In a statement given to me by a Microsoft representative, the company has confirmed that the delay of Black Myth Wukong is not due to technical issues with Xbox platforms and instead, similar to its original statement, points to outside platform developer deals." The statement reads, "As we have said before, we're excited for the launch of Black Myth Wukong on Xbox Series X and S, and are working with Game Science to bring the game to our platforms. We'd prefer not to comment on the deals made by our partners with other platform holders, but we can confirm that the delay is not due to Xbox platform limitations that have been raised to us." This statement reinforces my earlier reporting that the issue with Black Myth Wukong's delayed release on Xbox is not technical in nature and not because of some issue with the Series S, as many have speculated, as Microsoft is now saying outright. Microsoft did not comment on any specifics of a deal between Game Science and Sony, but again, like their original statements, have pointed directly to that possibility when making a statement about a delay. This vague statement left more than room for further speculation, but Was this just smoke and mirrors, intended to deflect away from the inadequacies of the Series S? Or is there a deeper conspiracy involved here? Let's look deeper into this. Tassie would go on to write the following. My report, corroborated by IGN, was disputed by industry insiders who claimed to have heard that it was simply PlayStation providing cash and resources for Wukong to make it to their platform. Here it is very much evident that any such exclusivity deal does not, in fact, include traditional marketing and may not even have included traditional payment, making the situation uniquely strange. I have reached out to Game Science and Sony for comment and will update if I hear back. In a situation this complicated, multiple things can be true. If Sony helped Game Science with paid tech work in exchange for a period of exclusivity, that would certainly not be a traditional exclusivity deal with the so-called money hat, keeping it off rival platforms and allowing for a big PS side marketing push. There are no specific terms of the deal known, though Microsoft has twice now pointed directly in that direction with public statements. On the other side, if Game Science and Sony have not revealed the nature of an exclusivity arrangement at this point, they will likely not going forward. Game Science has already issued a conflicting statement with Microsoft, citing ongoing optimization with the Xbox hardware, and that's not explained here. Again, I've asked them for clarification. Now, dear viewer, I'm pretty sure you're not an idiot. And know that IGN is absolutely not the greatest entity to back you up when looking for decent reporting, but seeing how Miss Marple this whole situation was getting, I took a look at the linked article and lo and behold, the very first sentence says, Black Myth Wukong's delay on Xbox is due to an exclusivity deal with Sony, a knowledgeable source has told IGN, corroborating reporting on Forbes, as well as what IGN has heard elsewhere. Oh, for f***'s sake. More anonymous sources with no proof of anything. Get wrecked. How can we even call this journalism? This lot of reporting is often less credible than British tabloids in instances like this, providing us with zero proof that we should believe them. I don't know about you, but trust me, I have an anonymous source isn't enough for me. However, as much as I like to poke fun at this lot, IGN would end up doing something more useful in this investigation, as Digital Foundry, who IGN now owns, conducted a simulation of how Black Myth Wukong might perform on the Xbox Series S, shedding light on the challenges of bringing the visually demanding game to Microsoft's lower spec console. The analysis revealed significant frame rate drops, with performance dipping as low as bloody 18 FPS, even after implementing graphical downgrades. This raised serious questions about whether the game could be effectively optimized for the Series S without compromising its core visual appeal, which has been a major selling point on other platforms. So maybe the Series S was the problem all along. Digital Foundry's damning findings suggested that achieving stable performance on the Series S would require substantial compromises, further complicating the task for Game Science. This experiment really substantiates the reasoning as to why many developers hate the existence of this console, as it forces them to make unwanted compromises whenever they produce any Xbox games. Microsoft spinning the whole situation to make us think that Game Science got a backhander from PlayStation seems more than a tad unfair, especially considering that a lot of Game Science's issues with Xbox seem to be down to one of their platform's limitations. But amusingly, this story doesn't end there. In January of 2025, Game Science's CEO Feng Ji has finally directly addressed the ongoing speculation surrounding the delay of Black Myth Wukong on Xbox, maintaining the same explanation he has offered all along, that the Xbox Series X is a significant obstacle, suggesting a lack of Black Myth on the hardware does not align with the lies told by Xbox. Writing on Weibo, they said that due to the Series S's memory limitations, they couldn't get the game to run on the hardware without several years of optimization experience. But no, let's just blame PlayStation. They often actually enough for people to believe it. So what can we learn from all of this? Well, I guess that there has been one consistent message throughout this saga. It's that Black Myth Wukong can't run effectively on the Series S. Unfortunately, due to Microsoft's parity rules, this also means that Series X owners who paid a premium for a more powerful console will continue to miss out on some of the biggest premium releases. This is outrageous to me. As what's the point of the most powerful consoles when a weaker one is preventing them from receiving some of the biggest releases? While the Series S was marketed as a budget-friendly option that would make gaming more accessible, the situation highlights a stark reality. The compromises needed to accommodate the Series S seem to be hurting Series X owners. You know, the people who have forked out the most money to get the most optimal experience. The fact that the Series S and Series X exist in tandem with the same library rule raises the question of whether Microsoft's strategy is truly consumer friendly or if it sacrifices too much in the name of inclusivity. The situation seems far from ideal for anyone, but I don't think that it's fair that Xbox should blame PlayStation or game sites for what appears to be an in-house problem. Remember that you can take advantage of my amazing affiliate deals to grab huge discounts on thousands of titles, including the PC version of Final Fantasy Rebirth. I once again wish you a fantastic new year filled with great games and amazing savings. If you want to support my work in a more personal way, access my behind-the-scenes cosplay library over on Patreon, and I'll see you all again soon.